Now that we have pinned the bottom of our kite so that we're ready to do the hem, you've already done edge stitching when you did the front of your kite and you did this nice straight edge along here. And now I'm going to show you another way to do that same process. We're hemming the bottom of this kite, but it's the same as edge stitching. And we can take off our number 1 foot from our machine. And remember, that's just the little latch at the back, and then you put the foot right on the cone and secure it. Take your threads so that they're underneath your foot and put them to the back. You're going to have to set your machine so that, remember to put the needle in the down position as you start to stitch. We're on a regular stitch, but we need to move the needle position. I already moved mine, so let me move it back. When you turn on your machine, it's at number 3. We want to move it 2 spots to the right. Then, when we're ready to hem, we put our pedal down, put our needle down in our fabric, and then be sure and remove your pins before you stitch over them. You're going to hold down those threads like normal. Whenever you start to stitch, you're holding those threads down. And then you're going to stitch forward 3, back 3, and you're keeping this metal edge on the foot right exactly where you folded your fabric. And then it's going to be stitching 1/8 of an inch away, just like we did when we did the front of the kite. But now you have an even easier guide than looking at the middle of the foot. We'll just stitch down. When I get to my double needles, or wherever you marked your kite, you're going to take the needles out before you stitch over them. So as I get close, I'm going to take those needles out. And when I get to my line, I'm going to back stitch. Okay. Then I'm going to lift my foot. I'm going to take these pins out now too, so I don't have an opportunity to stitch over them. And if you keep your pin cushion right here to the side, you can always keep your pins in here, never leaving up on the tabletop. Okay, now I'm going to lift my presser foot, and I'm just going to pull my work down about 1 1/4 inches or whatever your opening is, and then put my needle down in the fabric, go forward 3, back 3, and I've secured another beginning, and I'm just going to hem all the way down my kite. As I go down, I'm keeping this little plate right on the edge of my hem and guiding my work through. I'm not pulling or pushing. And whenever I take out a pin, I kind of put my finger there to hold it in place. And then I won't be letting my fabric flip out ever. So you never want this part to flip back out. You want to keep it nice and secure. Oh, there's a little piece I noticed before I got to it. Just tuck it under with your finger if that happens. And I want to show you what the hem looks like. So, not too bad. And then when you get to the end, here is my opening. When you get to the end, then you'll trim your thread, then you'll go back to the beginning, you'll trim your thread at the beginning, and because I pulled that thread, I got a little loop there, but I'm just going to cut that off. And I'm going to, where I left the opening, I'm just going to trim those threads. This is where the dowel is going to fit in on the side of your kite. So I'll just trim the threads everywhere. Here's the opening on the front. You can leave it, or you can just trim that thread and make it all look nice. Okay, and you'll finish going down all the way to the end. After you get to the end, then you're going to hem the outside edge of the kite, the one that we straightened. Remember that we didn't sew a line on the inside. That is the side that has the short angle. Do not hem that side. You're only hemming the side that has the wider angle on the green fabric. So you'll hem this long outside edge, and then you'll finish it by hemming the corner.